All right, welcome back everyone. We're gonna try to do a quick video on this golf cart seat. It belongs to a friend of mine that owns and runs the Pickway Machine and Fab here in, I don't know if it's Kingston or what it is, the area there, but he's actually sponsoring the Vice build. So I'll mention all that stuff and show you a little bit about his shop in that video. But this is his golf cart seat. We're only doing the bottom. The wood is pretty rotted. I have some OSB I'm going to try to make this out of, just because I figured plywood just deteriorates so fast when it gets wet, and these golf carts sit outside. So OSB is, you know, what they build houses with, and that stuff sits out forever. Sometimes when them guys are, you know, they got the sheets up and it's just sitting in weather and rain, so it lasts pretty good. But we're going to go ahead and also put some paint on it, so to try to help protect it a little bit. It's not 3/4, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut two pieces out and glue them together to make it stronger. I think it's 1/2 inch, so it's actually going to be thicker than what this was. This is 3/4 here, I believe. So this is just like the motorcycle seats as far as what's going on here. This is pretty rotten, so
oh boy, that's rotten. I'm
going to take the staple remover. I'm going to pop these out real quick and get this cover off. I'm not going to record that, but what we'll do is after I get that far and get this thing out of here and some of this cleaned up, I'll bring you guys back when we're tracing it on the wood and get it cut out and glued, and then we'll proceed to making our cover. It does need some foam repair too. It's so saturated too. I'm going to try to see if we can't maybe dry it out, add some foam to it and shape it. If not, we'll see. I don't know how much foam I have and what I got going on in the other shop there, but we'll try to make what we can out of it. He said it doesn't have to be the best, but then again, I'm not gonna make it look like crap because of that. So we're gonna try to do our best to use what we have, basically. So, all right, I'm gonna get this cover off and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, we got this thing apart. That wood is just, there's no way I can get a decent pattern, even if I cut it in half and flipped it and used it for the other side. So here's our best bet on getting a decent shape out of it. I'm gonna use the bottom of this foam. So, and this is 1/2 inch. So what we'll do is I'll do this side and that side because it has a little warp in the middle. So when we glue both of those together, it'll be nice and strong and sturdy. Yeah, this is our best bet here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace this out. We'll take it outside. I'll cut it. And then I'm going to take that thing, or the piece I cut out, and trace it again on the other side and cut it out of there. And then once it's glued as one, we'll shape it together. Yeah, see, even this is a little funny. All right, looks about like a seat. Yeah, that was rough. That plywood was real bad.
Real bad!
Okay, I'm going to get this set up outside with the jigsaw. Give me a couple minutes and we'll get to cutting. Forgot my glasses again. I need to glue these things in my head. That's still the blade I cut those 2x4s with that on that flag. All right. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna transfer it to that side, draw it out, cut it out, and then I'll bring you guys back inside. Okay, I think the way I'm gonna do this is, we're gonna use this super strong glue. This is the best way I can do it, so I'm gonna definitely get it on the edge. I mean, once this is together and stapled and put down on the thing, I don't think it's going to be no issue, but I figure why not glue it. Okay, once this dries, we can shape it to match perfect. So really, it's not like this is super critical right now. Okay, so first, I'm gonna put these on. Smash it down as much as we can. I'll probably go get a couple more too, but I'm also going to screw it with some screws. Just kind of around, and then we'll just pull these back out. Yeah, that's a lot better. Probably don't need them there, but why not? What's it gonna hurt, you know? I should be keeping it to the edge anyways. That's what I'm thinking. It's definitely sucking it together better. You know what I mean. Yeah, like I said, once we get this shaped out and the way we want it and everything, we'll put some paint on both sides. That way, everything's in good shape. You know what? Let me see if I can't see where the slots are down through the middle of this table. And we'll get some in there. Try anyways. Actually, we can do it like this. Yeah. Now I know I got it. I just want it to be good and tight where the glue's at. I hope this thing ain't dying. Probably. That way was better. Well, I still couldn't have got to that. Have to charge this. I think we're good. All right, put a couple here. Yeah, I think we're good.
You think?
One more here. All right, so while this is drying, we'll try to get our pattern. We'll figure out something with the foam. We'll try to get our patterns made for our material or for our cover. So let me get reset up with that stuff and I'll bring you guys back. All right, looks like this thing held together pretty good. Yeah, it's nice and solid. Boy, that's gonna be. All right, I'm gonna get the little grinder out. I don't know if I'm gonna do it with the electric flapper or the, yeah, let's try that. Hang on one second. I hate doing this in here, but nice enough outside will just blow it out. All right. Now.
No way. No, no way. Whoa, no way, Linda. No.
I'm gonna change the disc and get that outside. Hold on a second. Man, if I knew it was gonna be that hard, I would have got the shaper out. Well, I'm gonna finish this side and then bring you guys back in because I got to blow off and everything. So give me a few. Okay, got it all sanded down. I put some black on both sides while it was outside. Put it in front of the heater for a bit. And you wouldn't be, I mean, just that little bit, even with that door open, with these heaters running, that dust is everywhere that fast. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit, and then we'll probably get the foam on top, do some repairs to it, just so we know all that's done. And I think it's gonna be fine. I had it in front of the heater too. Hopefully. It's starting to dry out pretty good. So once we get that done, then we'll go into the other shop and we'll start making the cover. And once the cover's done, we'll get it buttoned up. So give us a little bit to dry, and then I'll be back with you guys shortly. Okay, we need to drill some holes. I marked out 5 holes here just for when you sit on it after the cover's on it, so the air has somewhere to go and doesn't make a big bubble. You know what I mean? You don't sit on a big bubble. So yeah, so I just kind of made 7 inches in, 10 inches in both sides, and then did this right in the middle. So let's see if this hole saw is okay. Probably should have clamped that other side. Okay, let me get a little screwdriver. Probably should have got a bigger one. That's kind of dull. Figured I'd get the first one out first. Yeah, it's just like smoking it. That was better. All right, I'm gonna finish doing all these, and I'll bring you guys back when we're fixing the foam here. All right, guys and gals, we got those cut out. I put sprayed a little black in there just to get rid of it, cover it up. I'm gonna try to blow some of this out real quick. By the way, this is nice and dry now. I've had it in front of that torpedo heater since I've had it. Try to get some of it out of there anyways. Let me try to put this where we can all see everything.
Well, sure, I can see it clearly now.
All right, so all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to, these don't need that much. I'm gonna cut this thing off here. I swear I don't know why people don't like these. There's upholsterers out there that they just do not like using these. They'd rather use a hacksaw blade, which I use too, but these are just so easy. I don't know. Maybe they found ones that ain't so sharp. I don't know. But this one, I mean, it's so old. Look at it. The blades are all glued up, and I don't even know when I got this thing.
That's as old as paint itself.
It might not even make this model anymore. That's how long I've had it. But it's been cutting, so. All right, I think I'm gonna cut that in half. Actually, we only need, if I go up to there and then like that. So let me do that. See if I can't cut this in half. Yeah, if you don't force it and kind of help the foam open up with it, it cuts right through it. I mean, I don't know. Okay, that just gave us probably plenty. I'm gonna use this one here. That just needs a little if I do it like that. Let me see how I want to do this, because I want to try to get it shaped as good as possible. Let's see. I could start forcing it like that. Yeah, I'm just gonna like glue a bunch down in there, and then we'll just shape it out like we always do. All right, and then I'm gonna put a little piece here, right in there somewhere. I just put it in like a little triangle, and we'll cut it. Okay, that one we can probably do this. I'll probably go like that. Yeah, I can just curve that around. All right, there's that one. Now, this one here, let me put that down a little bit. This one here is gonna be a little tricky. I'm probably gonna try to build it a couple times, I think. Well, let me do that. If I do it in, I think what I'm gonna try to do is put one up here, and then put another one there, and then cut them and shape them, glue them, and do what we gotta do with them. Let's just work with it. All right, first things first, let's do that big one. I got this stuff all tangled up. The lighting in this shop sucks, so I got this little LED light hooked up. Hopefully it's good enough for you guys to see all this. It's kind of a dark area right here. There's no light above me, so. All right, let's put some glue in here.
Oops.
That way, when I push this down, however I need to push it down, it'll stick. Same thing with this. I'm going to put some on the back side and on the sides. Okay, a little bit here. All right, that'll probably do it for that. I think, well, let me start with one, and then we'll just add as we need it. Probably a better idea anyways. Yeah, repairing foam like this, it's not that bad of a deal, because when we make our cover, I'm probably going to add a piece of 1/2-inch sew foam on it anyways, so that'll, you know, give it a uniform area. So once we sand this and do that, you'll never know that this was repaired anyways until if you have to take the seat cover off. But I was concerned about this because it was so saturated with water. I didn't think I was ever going to get it dry, but it's definitely nice and dry now. All right, let's see. We'll curve this around here, just like that. That's why I put that glue on the side, so when I push it down, it gets on the outside edge of it too. So that way when I go to trim it and sand it, it flows into it. Okay, let me get a little piece here. I think I don't know, maybe it was that one. No, I'll just put one of these on it and just cut it. Okay, we'll be good there. All right, let's get this one. And if you get this stuff on you, mineral spirits takes it right off. So if you're wondering, or because it does get sticky. It is a strong glue for this kind of work. I might as well get those prepared, at least the first one. Try to get over here where I don't block the camera. If I need more, I'll add it, if it ain't sticking somewhere. At least that one's getting drying for us. Now, how did I have this thing? I think like that. Okay, that one worked out good too. Yeah, I'd hate to see what a piece of, I think that's 3 or 4 inch foam. Foam is expensive. It's very expensive. Even shops, when they go to fix it, this stuff ain't cheap. So then you got time into fixing it, you know what I mean? It's just, let me start with this lower one first. That way we'll build like a little area. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that'll work out sweet. All right, kind of like a pocket. Let me put some down in here, like that one. Try to do it like this. And like I said, as you're cutting it and sanding it and doing all that, you can always add a little more glue or another little piece in there if you see it, something's funny looking. Or this one, I'm just gonna try to go kind of like that so we can shape it. Where else do I want that? At least we got it on there, Yeah, that stuff's really starting to build up. Look at that. Yeah, but it'll take it right off. It'll just, look at that. I can't even. And setup time on this, it just varies. You can kind of see it, like drying a little and feel it. It's getting sticky, but it's already starting to stick to the dry parts of this stuff here. But I can still tell it's a little. I usually do it on foam. I don't let it dry all the way. I mean, you can. There's guys, when they do headliners, they'll let it dry completely and then reactivate it with steam. All right, let's try to do this now. I think that'll do it. Give us some area to trim and form. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna let this stuff sit up a little bit, clean this crap off my hands, and we'll come back and we'll trim it up and grind it. I might pull it outside to grind it because I don't want the mess in here. So give me a few and I'll set all that up. All right. Let's trim some of this down. I'm gonna try to leave a little bit on above. I'm trying to be easy. I don't want to take too much off. But we can, grind the rest. Okay, that's not even a. There we go. All right, yeah, let me get them, and then we'll get it outside and get the grinding. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Too much talking, 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 too much talking.
This one's gonna be the fun one here. I guess we'll take, let's see. Maybe if we do this first. You guys can see that. I'll try to give us a good corner. Now, shape the, or come across the top a little bit. Try to look at this. I think I can grind the rest of that and make it look, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to take too much off with this. Yeah, I think I'm going to grind the rest. Let me get this a little bit here. This corner's a little high. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it right there and grind the rest. And that way we can play with it and just shape it down with the grinder. All right.
It's about time.
I'm gonna get this stuff set up outside and I'll bring you guys back. All right, I'm gonna try to do this with a little bit of distance there with the camera because it's gonna be pretty messy. I don't have no more 36s. This is kind of wore out. I hope I have enough. But I do have a 60 and an 80. Let's try it, this 36. Nah, that ain't gonna get it. Let's try the, if not, I'll get the electric one. I do have some, I think 40s in that. Look at me. This is gonna be a bad one here. All right, I'm gonna try to finish this up, get it back inside. You see what I'm going through here? Woo! Yeah, give me a few and I'll get this back in. Okay, we're back in the shop. Man, that was a mess. Anyways, it all turned out pretty good. I was gonna sand it a little bit by hand, block sand it some, and it really doesn't need it. But what we are gonna do is, we're gonna spray a little bit of this glue on this. This is just like a little batting. It's a thin, just to make an even coating on top. Really don't need it because like I said, we're probably gonna put soap foam on the cover. So I wanna glue this down a little bit. That's all right, we'll just do it like this. This is just a little bit of extra, that's all. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Maybe make it a little bit softer if anything.
That's so soft.
I'm gonna have to clean this gun out. I thought it was unclogging a little bit. I haven't used it for a little while, probably since summer. At least we got to save the foam, you know? It could have been worse. It could have been worse, you know, than this. See, now it's working good. I wanted you guys to see all this. That way you could see where we stopped and what I'm covering up. Whew, that stuff is strong. Okay, now I'm just gonna go around and trim it up a little bit where it's overhanging some. And then once we put our cover on and actually, I'm gonna glue this down some here. Just like that. Just so my corners are down. Then I'll trim that up with the scissors. The rest will lay over here. Okay, good. All right. Trim these up real quick. And like I said, we didn't have to put this on there. I had it and I just wanted to make it an even form, kind of like putting a coat of primer on something just to even it up. That's it, man. Looking all nice now. We got our pattern back. I think it's going to be looking cool. Yeah, this stuff here is, let me show you it. It just comes in a roll. You can get it at Joann, Michael's, wherever. It's Quilter's 80/20. It's just a batting is all it is. I usually get a big roll from the upholstery supply place, and it's a little thicker than that. And it comes in a 60-inch roll by how many ever yards you want, but that's all it is. Just some batting. Give it a little more softness. Ain't gonna hurt a thing, you know? Let me put this on here and bring that over there real quick. All right, man, we got a golf cart seat. A nice base, you know, a nice, what do they say on the artist? a nice whatever to start with. I kind of don't know what that's called. All right, next we're gonna start making the cover. We're gonna probably go into the other shop for that, and we'll get that thing. We'll probably just do a top. I am gonna do some soap foam on it just to give it that extra little bit to it and even this all up even better. And we'll probably do some piping, and then I'm gonna do the big one on the bottom. I think I got some, I don't know what size that was. Maybe 1/4 inch like rope or whatever it is. We'll see what I got, but I'll bring you guys back when we're over there. Okay, I took a measurement of this and we got 42 by 22. So we need a 44 by 24, giving us an inch around it. So let's go this way for our 44. And then what we'll do, we'll put our thing down on top of it and trace it out. And, okay, there's 44, 24. Oop, thought I locked it. Okay. Now what we'll do is, I'll just get my, instead of drawing a line, I'll just get my rule, put it on the mark, if I can get them, and just cut them with our rotary wheel. Okay, we need to make our sides, and I need to cut out some pieces for our welting, piping, whatever you want to call them. Okay, there's that. Let me put this on. We'll go like this. We'll go like that. Boy, it's so nice out.
It's a beautiful day.
And then we'll flip this around. I'm going to try to leave my inch everywhere, or close to it. I got to go that way. Now we went too much. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so let's take our marker and draw this out. I'm trying to keep it along that edge because I'm going to cut about, I'll show you here in a second. We can straighten that out. Okay. So what we'll do is, basically, I'm just going to take my scissors. Let me straighten this one out. I'm going to make that one a little straighter, and this one, just so it's even Steven. About like that. That'll give me an area to, so what I'm going to do is come out about a 1/2 inch. Now this is going to leave for our sewing. You can draw this out if you want, if it's easier for you. I just cut it. I'm so used to my ways, you know.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
As long as you got, like I said, at least a 1/2 inch, 3/8 or whatever. That front one's about right. Let me clean this one up a little bit. Awkward. Here, let me do it this way. There we go. Okay. There's our top cover. Now we need to make, I gotta measure around this thing. So we need, so the sides to the bottom of the wood and to the top of the foam are 5 inches. So we'll give ourselves an extra, let's just say 2 inches across the bottom. Let's just say 2 inches, that way it leaves us with a little bit up top and the rest will be along the bottom where we can staple. So we'll make it 7 by, I'm almost sure we're gonna have to go, that's 60 to there. And 60 was over here. So we actually need, we're gonna need more than 2 of these, I think, because that's only probably 60 inches.
Makes no sense.
And I don't want to cut it long ways, I'll waste a lot of material. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Yeah, this is not even that, this is 55. So we're gonna have to cut literally 3 of these. And then we'll put them together to where it looks good on the thing.
What thing?
So we got, I don't know how to lock this anymore, I guess.
You just push it, push it, push it.
7, 14, 21. Same down here. 7, 14, 21. Okay. Now what we'll do, same thing. We'll grab our, set that on there, and we'll sew all these together and make one continuous. And we'll put our, like I said, we'll make it look right. There's 7, 7, and 7. That's our sides. Now let's make 3 of these for our welting. And what I do with that is I just take this rule, line it up, and then bring it down just a little bit, about not even a 1/2 of an inch, just close, and it gives you one about like that. Once again, bring it to the edge, slide it down even. Another one more. Okay. Now the bottom one that we're doing the bigger welting with, that goes around the bottom of it, I gotta find the rope that I had, I hope. If not, we won't even make one, but it had one, but I don't think he cares. It's more for decoration than anything. We got our welting, our sides, and our cover. So I'm gonna cut the foam out. There's really no need to, unless you guys wanna see it. You can't really answer me, can you?
Nope, 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 nope.
Let me put this stuff over here. I've done it in other videos where I do this, but it ain't no biggie. What sucks is I'm gonna waste no matter what. I'm gonna have to cut the air compressor on. Actually, I got the air on. Let's try to do this quick. Okay, good. We didn't have to listen to that compressor.
Super duper! That's nice!
That was my biggest concern. Listen to that dumb thing. So all I do is just glue this down a little bit. Some people don't even do that. They just sew it on there. They just do their thing. Okay, now I just take this is for the people that ain't seen this yet. I take my scissors and I cut at an angle. The reason being is it's less material there when you're sewing your welting and stuff on. And I'll show you when we're done, but.
You always say that!
I cut it like that, at an angle. My blades are literally flat underneath the back of this thing. Let me cut this off. Okay. Then I just go around it. I'll show you the back of that here in a second. I'm trying to go fast because I don't want to make an hour video out of cutting the foam out, you know what I mean? And that's it. We got an angle. So when we sew that, there's only, you know, you don't have to go through the whole thickness of that part. That's what that's about. So now, like I said, with this batting on here, this seat is like extra soft. And you're not gonna be able to see where we fix it or anything.
I didn't see a thing!
All right, I'm gonna get set up at the machine so we can sew our welting together, our sides together, and we'll put it all together and start stapling. Be back shortly. Okay, I wanted to quickly show you guys what's going on here. So I sewed 2 of my sides together with the top sew. I'll show you that in a minute. And then I made my cuts in my top, the center cuts, by folding it over and, you know, finding where the middle was and just cutting them off. So I put my first sew seam up here in the front, in the middle, wrapped around as best, you know, just close. And then on the back here, you see where it got short. I took me a measurement. I think it was like 17 or 18. I made a 19-inch piece. So now what we'll do is we'll sew it to one side here. And then as we get to the other one there, I'll show you how we're going to finish that. And then we'll top sew each of them back ones. So we'll have 2 seams right in the middle of the back. So it doesn't look like offset or weird. You know what I mean? So it'll look right. So what we'll do now is, before we go doing that, because I want to make our the welting. So I think how I'm going to do this is, let me get rearranged here so you guys can watch how I do that. I've done it before, but we'll do it again. Give me a minute. Okay, we're doing this the same as the fronts. So we're going to take the first 2, sew them together. I'm going to show you how I do this to make it like a good looking seam. So we'll sew these 2 together here. Let me cut off my needle positioner. I'll tell you this, if you didn't watch my video on this needle positioning thing and that new motor, it's so much quieter than the old one. I don't know if you, in prior videos, if you heard me, I was kind of bitching about the, and then we'll put our short one on this one here. I was kind of bitching about the buzzing this thing was doing. It was buzzing on me, and it never did that before, but it was the brushes in my old one. But I had that other one sitting around, so I wanted to use it and see how it worked, because eventually I might change out my FAF and put a needle position I keep saying sensor, needle positioning unit on it. So, all right, so I start at the one end, it doesn't matter which end. And I always kind of sew with a welting foot on. I don't know, I just always have. Sometimes I'll change it, sometimes I'll put a regular foot in it. If I'm doing like some zipper stuff or some really close sewing that I gotta get close to something, just depends. Now see here, on needle, if I put the needle positioner on, what happens here is, See, when I was stopping, my needle was up. If I go, watch this. Now when I stop, it's always down. Am I sewing? Nope, I ripped my damn bottom. Not my bottom, my top. Why do I keep, something's going on here with this thread. It's real grippy. Maybe I had that too tight. Or my needle's weird. Something's wrong with my needle. Yeah, I noticed that it, now I can't see. I got it through 10 times a little bit ago. There we go. Let me just start all over here. Now I gotta hit the correct thing here, or I'm gonna have holes in my welting. Come on. As long as I get it started. Okay, so as I was saying, why does it keep doing that? Yeah, I keep fraying my, I must be hitting on something. Let me figure this out and I'll bring you guys back. I think my my bobbin holder underneath is hitting my my needle as it's going down. Let me check all that. I'll bring you back shortly. Okay, I'm not sure if I had it in there, not all the way or what, but I got it to quit. Anyways, here's what I do when I get to the seams. I fold them over and then I'll put my welt in there and then fold that over. So on the outside of it, hold on. I know some guys fly through this. I like to do it a little at a time. I just always have, I don't know why. Okay, here's what it looks like. Now when you, if you can see that, it just looks like a little liner. It looks good, you know, so when it's on the seat, it won't be some weird looking thing. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with this. I think I didn't have my, my bobbin case all the way latched. We'll just go ahead and finish this on here real quick. Not much left. That way we can keep an eye on that thread. Make sure that ain't doing that no more. I always have goopy problems, and then I won't have no problems for 10 years. And I think that drives people crazy too when I back stitch my stuff like this. Oh well, that's just how I do it. Okay, so this is done. Now what we'll do is we're going to sew it onto our top, and I'll show you that. I'm going to start on that real quick, and then I'll bring you back when I'm finishing across the back, just so we're not wasting a bunch of recording. So we'll take our first, the short one's going to go in the back along with our other. So that'll be back there, that'll be around there, and then the first cut will be right here. So I'm going to start on this. Let's see how I'm going to do this. All right, my SD card got full. So anyways, I went ahead and followed it around. I started on my front seam there and kind of walked it around, and I put me a mark in the back. I need to start on the back here unless I want to sew this thing upside down, and I don't want to. So, well, I'm just having all kind of issues. Oh, I'll have to deal with that later. Okay, where's my, there it is. No, that's not what we want. Oh, right there. I almost sewed it wrong. And that would have been fun. Okay. Yeah, I'm putting too much content on my SD card. If that makes any sense. I need to hurry. It's telling me, quit messing around, quit talking. I'm talking too much. I know some of you guys like it when I talk, but sometimes I gotta go. I got too much stuff on my table. And what this does is now when we sew our sides on here, we'll have our piping will already be on it. Some people do, I've said this before, they'll do the piping and the tops together. You can do that. I've done it before. It's just a little more, you gotta just kind of watch where you're going, a little more hold things together, basically that type of thing. Hope I didn't cut that too hard, because now we're not gonna fall on our mark up here. Nope, we're good. I want to show you guys how I meet it in the back to make all that look even. Yep, we're good still. I was just concerned about that. I don't have my needle positioning thing on just because I need to change some settings in it. I don't want to mess with that right now. I probably don't even need these here, but it does make it curve and bend better. That's why I do it. And if you're new to sewing, I encourage you to do it too. Don't let others tell you that you don't need to do that, and because it will make you, it will make things better for you. Put it that way, easier. See how it's just curving around all that real easy. If you're, how should I say this? If you're weathered at this, a lot of people won't even fool with this. But I'm showing you because I want it to go smooth for you. If you ever try to do this, and it can be as easy as it looks if you follow, you know, how things are being done. Doesn't have to be hard. Okay, so now I'll just backstitch this right here and pull it out of here. Now we got to make some things here. These scissors suck, and they're brand new. Imagine that.
They suck.
All right, so now what we want to do here is we want to kind of see how far we are into this. Where's my tape? So from the center of this to the seam, we are about 6 3/4 roughly. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to do the same on this side. So how we're going to do that is 6 3/4 has to be in the middle of that. So here's going to be the middle of that right here. So what we'll do is we'll come over about another inch, because that's going to be our flap. We'll cut this off. All right, now we'll bring this one, make sure it's still, yeah, 6 3/4. So now we'll bring this one over, and we want it to be, let's see, our flap's going to be, did I just do that wrong? No, let me think here. I'm trying to go fast and think, and okay, I want that at 6 3/4. I do not like this tape. I lock it and it doesn't lock. Okay, I guess you got to stand on it.
And smash it with the hammer.
All right, 6 3/4 is right here. All right, so that's going to be here. So what we want our seam to be there. So if I sew, all right, so what we'll do is, I need to take some of these apart. Here's probably where they're going to say, you shouldn't have backstitched it there. Now you got to cut them. You could have just pulled it out. Either way, you got to cut them. I still got to go back into here and cut some more and pull them. So no matter what, we're going to be cutting something. Pull these back some. Because see, these are going to fit inside of each other. They're going to butt together. We don't want it, nothing overlapping. So like this, we're going to be going, I got to cut down this piping. What about my seam? My seam right there. Okay, so I want this to go into here. So we'll cut this back here. Actually, we can cut it up here. That way we're safe. Okay, that'll be there. Now, I'm figuring it out. That way we got an easy thing here. Or when you guys see it, you'll understand it. So 6 3/4 is going to be our seam. So what I want to do is, I want to trim into this on both sides, this much. Here and there. So that's where them are going to go together. Like, I got to sew these together first. But I want them to be on my... It's easier when you don't have to do two of these, meaning two of these that I'm making right now, these seams or whatever you want to call this. Okay, so I want to sew that right there. That way when we go across it, that should be our 6 3/4. You guys will see what I'm doing here in a second. Okay, so now when we do this, it's going to be the same thing. We'll unfold this, meet our two. I got all kinds of thread here. I want to know where to start at. Okay, I don't want to lose no. I want to make sure I got enough welting in here. I think I do, yeah. All right, I just got a little bit too much here. All right, so now those are together. Start our sew again. I'm going to start it back just a little bit so I go over the stitching. Lock it and then go. You got to keep these two together where they meet each other, and then fold your thing over. Now I like to try to keep it tight so it looks good right where those two are. Okay, and you'll see what I mean here in a second once I show you all this. Okay, so now if we measure, we should be, yep, 6 3/4, 6 3/4, 6 7/8. So these are even back here where our stuff joins. They're even. And you can take, some guys take a little marker and to make sure you don't see the white welting, but now our thing is on. And we'll do the same. I'm going to do the same thing with these sides, just so you know. I'm not going to show all that on the camera because it's going to eat up the SD card again. but I'll just kind of brief you real quick, and then I'll show you when it's done. So again, I'm going to start up here with the first seam, just like that. I'll match it up there, and then I'm going to walk it around this thing real quick. I'm just kind of telling you what I'm doing. I'll walk it around all of it to where I know it's where it's going to be, and I'll put my first mark where it needs to be at. That's where I'll start, just so this meets in the front. So that way when these two meet in the back, we're going to be right in the middle of our thing. I don't think I put the, no, I didn't put the little one on here yet. It's right, where did I throw it at? I threw it somewhere. Oh, it's over here. I got to put it on still. Just like the welting was, we had a third little one. The one that was, I think, 18 or 19 inches. So I'll sew it on first, probably on this side. So when we bring this back around, we'll just be sewing the one side over here. But like I said, it's gonna fall just like this did. So we'll have our two seams the way they are here, and everything will be centered. This won't be off one way, meaning this line won't be here, and that line won't be here looking weird, and that one all the way over in the corner over there. You want it to all kind of look good, even though it's a seam. If somebody's looking at it when they're sitting on top of the seat and see a cut in the welting over here, and the next one over here in some corner, it's off. You know what I mean? You don't want it to look like that.
Oh no! That looked bad.
So a little measuring, a little walking around like I'm doing, you know, walking around by hand. Just double check, that's all. So I'm gonna do that off camera like I said, so we're not killing up all of our SD cards. I'll bring you guys back, but it's the same thing I'm doing. Cool. Okay, real quick guys, I wanna show you here. So this one, we started on the front seam in the middle of the cut. We're doing the same with the back. Here's our center, there's our two seams in our welting and in our, and if you notice, I put the seam on this side of that one and to the left, to the right of this one, just so it looked good. And that was it. So now, all that looks good when you put it on. So now we gotta fold these over and fit this. What I'll do is I'll get this folded over, and then I'm gonna get rearranged here with my camera so you guys can, we'll staple it together. Yeah, I just felt a bunch of air come through that when I just did that. That's why them holes are good to put in. You just kind of want to fit it good. And we got a nice amount here to staple. See, a good 1.5 inches or so. That's perfect. All that's folding right over the foam. Yeah, we're good. All right, let me get some air in the line, rearrange my cameras. We'll come back here in a second. We'll staple this up. This bad boy's done. Give me a few. Okay, I got some air in the line. Hopefully we don't need no more. So basically on this, you want to, I usually try to start like on my seams or in the middles. And you don't want to pull to where it's sucking that whole top. You know, you want to pull it to where it's just this, you know, it's tight, the slack's out of it, and you're not sucking that whole top down, like curving the tops down. So just pull it enough, put you a couple staples in it. Do the same with this one. Try to keep it to where you know it's going to be wrinkle free when you're doing it, which sometimes is a working thing. And I will spin her around. Try to get it loosened up a little bit. Same thing, we want to pull this just enough to where it looks good. We're not sucking the whole thing. I know when I first started doing this, I was pulling it and then I'd have one part straight. That corner would be pulled down real hard. You got to just, then now the rest of it, same thing. You got to just do a little bit at a time. Make it look even. You can go back and put more staples in it later, because sometimes you may have to pull them out to redo it because you pulled it too tight or not enough. Even guys that have been doing this for many years have to, and if you have some wrinkles and the rest looks good, don't worry about that. You can steam them out most of the time. All right, let's get something on the ends here. Usually right in, if you got a curve or something, let's do it first. Proceed. Hit this corner a little bit. Yeah, this one's wanting to give me, I might have to pull that up a little bit. Maybe not. Let me try this. Walk it up a little bit. So I'm kind of pulling to one side and walking it. I like using some of my wrinkles for an area to staple because it gives you a little more. I might have to pull them up to straighten out a little bit. Okay, and it looks like this too a little bit. This is what I mean by, I don't know, I just had this thing the other day, and I know I put it back here. where I can see. I have no idea. I'm not having a perfect day today.
I'm having a really bad day.
Everything is giving me a hard way to go for some reason. I don't know what I did with my staple puller. All right, so I'm gonna find that, pull a couple of these out, straighten it up. You see how I'm doing it. Sorry about this. I know I put it underneath there. I just used it when I took the seat apart and brought it right back in here that day. God knows I didn't take it nowhere else. All right, I'm gonna go do that. We'll finish stapling this. I'll bring you guys back when I'm finished and we'll look at the end result, but this is how I'm gonna do it all. Nothing different. So give me a little bit and I'll bring you back. Okay guys, just real quick, I want you to see the top view of it. I literally had to take about 10 staples out and then I just kind of shifted things around and redid it. And then I just trimmed the rest of my excess off. There's a couple little things here I'm gonna steam out, no biggie. And I tried to pull that every which way but loose. There's a little teeny one over here you can barely see, but I'm gonna steam it all. Anyways, it's done. It looks really good. It feels super nice. It's soft, really soft. But now you can sit on this thing and it won't, you can see it like where the circles that we cut out are helping that. Our corners are nice. Everything turned out great. So here she is. Yeah, I'm gonna steam this too a little bit up here just to help get some of these out, but it'll look all nice. I'm gonna clean up a little bit of this glue, you know, the usual. But there it is, guys. Once again, let me put this where I can see. Yeah, once again, I wanted to make a video on this in between the vise build and the rest of the flag, along with that the paint shaker thing. That turned out real cool. But yeah, just to touch bases with you guys again on everything. I always say it, but I want to keep saying it. It does really help for you guys to hear. But please, if you ain't subscribed, subscribe. It helps my channel so much.
Oh, so much, so much, so much.
I don't know how much to stress that, but please, guys. Until the next one, I really appreciate you guys so much. Sorry the SD card did what it did, but we brought it back and finished on that thing. If you have any questions on any of that stuff, you know how anything, just ask me and I'll go over it with you. But it's pretty self-explanatory when you kind of see when you look at it and, you know, say, oh yeah, you know, that's why.
Jibber jabber, jibber jabbering, mumbo jump.
But if you have any questions, let me know. And that's about it, guys. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Until the next one, we're out.